Brandon Som grew up in Arizona and went to Arizona State University, then came to Pittsburgh and got a Master in Fine Arts and Creative Writing at the University of Pittsburgh. Taught at the Pennsylvania Governor's School of the Arts. I'm glad I talked to him tonight because he no longer teaches at Chatham College in Pittsburgh, but he is employed at New York University in the expository writing program, and he's happy to be in New York, but he thinks a lot about Arizona and is reading about Arizona, and I suppose may do a project that is connected with Arizona. He's published in the magazines West Branch, Black Warrior Review, Barrow Street, and the online magazine Octopus Magazine. According to our judges, Brandon Som's poem, Alba, the Archer Ye, is a tender and beautifully sculpted poem. Its language so lush, the reader can feel the physical shape and ache of its words rising up from the throat and arriving finally and inevitably in the mouth. This is what two readers said, actually. It beautifully recounts a mythological Chinese tale, and in the process underscores how what is human is what we dearly love, how too much light of the heavens obstructs our tenderness for the earthly, and how, in the beautiful last image, even the light of the sun is attracted to the rounded shape of the shoulder, a little earth itself shooting its arrows of light toward it, illuminating its loveliness. Brandon Som.
That was really good. I mean, that description of the poem, it was almost as beautiful as the poem. I'm really. I think about Pennsylvania a lot too, and Pittsburgh. I've only been in New York just under a year, if that. So it's great to be back in Pennsylvania. And great to be here at State College. I've never been here before, so it's exciting. And it's exciting to be part of such a great project and to have my poem a part of a wonderful poster. Really gorgeous, really handsome poster. I'll start off with that poem. Alba, the Archer Ye. Because we are helpless in the affairs of heaven, we place feathers on arrows. By Tao, the nox groove against its bowstring. The arrow by bird's wing, by archer's sight, by aim, superimposing what is in hand over what is distant. We arrive at certain conclusions. The end of this tale, for example, after blight and the consequent famine, 9 of 10 sons fell as dark crows. Of the ways it is told, there's the account of the emperor as the 9th son lay writhing, dark blood on dark feathers, placing his hand on the archer's shoulder. So the slung bow was lowered, a discretion the story would have us believe that is finally this sun, this light, still with its obsession to travel while we go on living in its obstruction. Even now, this morning, your shoulder white as scrimshaw, drawing the light to its fletching. This next poem is called A Panel for a Japanese Screen. In the house, 2 boys undress in front of each other and find wind chimes where their genitalia should be. So one boy gets down on his knees and blows on them. A few clouds go by the windows, earning their inconsistencies. And in the room, some dresser drawers are open, like balconies over a small parade. There is a print above them by the Japanese artist Utamoto, in which two tea house girls are dressing their hair before their mirrors in the morning. You can see one's knee, and this is enough to know they are alone and unaware of us watching, as one pulls a whalebone comb through her hair, and the other fixes the knot of her ribbon, both with hands that later might cover a smile. But this moment is before the customers, in the early light of the pleasure quarter, before the traffic of gamblers and courtesans. It is a moment in an affair with essence, as two women stare in separate mirrors and begin to pin their hair like the wings of intricate insects. In this moment, with themselves and themselves in their mirrors, the artist has fastened a moment without so much as a tremble, so still that even now we might imagine one placing her hands in her own reflection, like water for laundry, and then suddenly throwing it out and startling a dog asleep in the alley. I have been trying to write more about Arizona. And I've been reading some oral histories about Mexican-American ranchers, cattle herders in the Southwest. And I stumbled upon this word, which I should have known already because it's actually the title of a collection by Martín Espada. But I stumbled upon this word called alabanza, which is a Spanish word for songs of praise. It's not a word that my family used, my family being Catholic, or at least not a word that I remember. And so I thought I'd try my hand at writing some alabanzas, some songs of praise. And I took one out because I was only going to read one, but I kind of want to read the other one, so I'm looking for it now. Maybe I took it out completely, left it on the train that I was on. No, here it is. Alabanzas. 1. It is the hour when the man from beneath the bed pulls out the wooden shoe shine box and sits in briefs and undershirt with a crucifix discernible beneath the ribbed cotton, and works the grease rag and oils with the swamp cooler humming from the rooftop, and the night buses lurching and rumbling from their stops in the city where each building takes a small step back from its window light to constellate and rival the stars. This has a luminaria in it, which is just a paper bag lantern. The cockroach in the luminaria is a shadow on the paper bag as its carapace blazes in the votive light placed on the pile of sand which weights the bag, in the winds that lean the mesquite and bear away the catkins as task or promise, some gesture of devotion that gave by its quickening a relevance before idling and so dropping everything, as if it were some bird of indiscernible size and shape, distinguished only by its molting, its throwaway, what is left behind, and so charmed. And I'll close with this poem. Again, thanks so much for having me. This is called Still Later. I opened my mouth to that wind that wants birds, but will settle for the heart and master it, as if it were a Chinese junk, hewn by compromise. Clouds came with, revising the inscrutable spaces we call horizons, but in the body can know only as longing. In sure measurement, by sextant, by star, my heart vesseled out, single-masted, it pitched, trying its rigging, all vein work and muscle, until far enough out where you want me to say how my body was down to shorebirds. But my concern remained the lanterns throughout the night, like cinders in casual cigarettes that kept the signals between them. Thanks.